So one thing I see, Megan, is that we invest so much time in the interview process, and there are some companies who actually fall down at the closing stage. And there are two things that I see is that one is that we haven't been thoughtful and we haven't been listening to what the candidate really wants. And of course, a big part of that is the compensation package and the negotiation around that. But I think, secondly, is during the interview process, the candidate has been telling you exactly what they're looking for. So just to go through the notes, to speak to everyone involved, and to make sure that that close is really thoughtful. How you do that close is really interesting because you see a lot of variation of companies sometimes doing it on the phone, sometimes it's just a formal email, but there's such an opportunity to really resell and to recontextualize why did we do this process? Why are we talking? And this is what you've said, and this is where I think we can be really attractive. One of the best things I've ever seen was an email from a CEO who set out all of these things and then set out for the next 12 months what their plan is and how that person is going to have an impact in that company. That's the best close I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, if you can keep that up in a small stage company, that's amazing. I would keep doing that. But I think zooming out, it's probably not scalable. So if you're thinking, look, we're growing, we're getting bigger, we're onboarding more people, we've invested all this time, now what? Things I've seen are, coming to an all hands, coming to just a day in the office to meet the team, meet the manager. At the very least, that same message from the CEO coming from your manager or your soon to be manager. Those are all kind of helpful tactics.
Because those tactics are about making you visualize what the future is going to look like. So coming to an all hands and you're probably standing there thinking, hang on, could I actually work here? How do I feel? Is this feeling like an environment I like? So it's such a small investment and a massive payoff. So you actually get, you close the right candidates, having invested what, 10, 20, 40 hours into that candidate, will they actually accept your offer?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's something too of just kind of this constant reminder we've brought up of you're also in this situation where the candidate is interviewing you. So as a company, the candidate's really evaluating like, hey, am I really a good fit here? And on top of that, it's still a bit of this, I don't know what you call it, maybe power play process of your candidate going through a process. You're showing up, you're answering questions about you. So making sure that that candidate also has a chance to really just dig in and ask their own questions beyond just kind of the subtle ways they've been telling you what they want, what they're interested in throughout the process.